on Facebook, just be mindful of that. Okay, and I think we are broadcasting indeed. You can see Satapapa over here. Okay, so we will get started on the Zoom meeting. Right. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen, and what we want to do here, is to do a recap, because we have been memorizing verses left, right, and center for the past 4 weeks or 5 weeks, and it's time here to touch base and see. So I won't ask any of you to recite, but we will look at it together, and we will recite all the way up to 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49. So that is 5 verses that we did, right? It's very, very important that when you are memorizing verses and doing 1 verse a week, to always go back and touch base. And so in Friday's class, we were talking about the word touch, right? So some sparsh, we had said, Brahma some sparsh. So yes, of course, if you touch the Bhagavad-gītā verses with your eyes, that is, touching Krishna, because there's no difference between Krishna's words and Krishna himself. He's absolute truth. Okay, so I'll get started, and then on the count of 3, and then you all can also join along. You can unmute yourself and speak, or you want to stay behind the microphone and recite. Either way, I'm fine with that. So it's starting with verse number 45. 1, 2, and 3. Tre Gurniya Vishya all together, try to be together with each other, right? Listen to others also, otherwise you'll all be going in your own train, right? Starting again from the beginning. 1, 2, and 3. Tre Gurniya Vishya Veda Nishtre Gurnyo Arjuna Nidando Nidvaso Niryogashimatma Yaman Artha Udapane Sarvataha Samplutodake Pavan Sarveshu Brahmanasya Vijanataha Karmani Ma Phaleshu Ma karma phala hetu ma te sangosa karmani yoga saha kuru karmani sangam gatva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samabhuva samatvam yoga uchyate durena hyavanam karma buddhi-yukto dhananjaya buddha sharanam anviccha kripanaha phalahetaha. Okay, so I'll start from the top again, and now each one of you recite here, starting with Sutapa Mataji, verse text 45.
Text 45. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nidvando Nitya Shadvasto Niryoga Shema Atmava Yavanartha Udapane Sharvataha Shamplutodake Tavan Sharveshu Vedeshu Brahmanasya Vijanataha कर्मण्यैवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भुर् मा ते संगोऽस्तकर्मणि योगस्थः तथा कुरु कर्माणि संगं त्वक्तो धनञ्जय सिद्ध्यो असिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा क्षमत्वं योग उच्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगद धनञ्जय बुद्धौ शरणम् अन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः
Falahetavaha. And this is tyaktva. This word is tyaktva, not tvak. There is no V here, there's a Y. Right? Tyaktva. Okay, good. So Varshana Mataji is not in a position to speak, right? So let's skip over and then go to Suruchi Mataji.
Yes, ma'am. Triguniya Vishyaveda.
Tray.
I'm sorry.
Double.
Triguniya Vishyaveda. Nistriguniyo Bhava Arjuna. Nirtvando Nitya Sattvasto. Niryoga Kshima Atmavan. Yavan Artha Udapani. Sarvata Sampluto Dake. Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu Brahmanasya Vijanataha Karmanye Evadhikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phala Heturbhur Ma Te Sangostva Akarmani Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya Siddhya Siddhyo Samabhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate Durena Hya Avaram Kriya Karma Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya Bodhau Sharanam Anvijja Kripana Phalahitava.
Right. Buddha, right? Not Bodha, Buddha.
Buddha. Yeah.
Buddha. Okay. All right. Surbi Govinda Mataji.
Should we do it again?
If you are speaking, then you're on mute. Surbi.
Sorry,
Surbi.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes. Sorry, I joined late and I missed a few. So apologies.
Yeah, no problem. We are just doing a recap of what we have done from 45 to 49.
Okay, I'll do my best then. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhava Arjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Shema Atmavan Yavanartha Udapane Sarvataha Sampluto Dakhe Tavan Sarveshu Vedeshu Brahmanasya Vijanataha Karmani Evadhikarasta Ma Phaleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phale Heturbhur Ma Te Sangasva Akarmani Yogastaha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjaya Siddhi Asiddha Siddhyoho Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate Gurena Yavaram Karma Buddhi-yukto Dhananjaya Buddhau Saranam Aviccaha Kripana Phalahetavaha.
Pranaha Phalahetavaha. So very good. So everybody. So just wanted to emphasize on text number 47, right? Where there is this Y here, right? And then there's a E here, right? Karmanya eva. So it is karmanya, right? Yeah, like tya, like that. Karmanya. We stop there. Karmanya. And don't carry the E here to the previous word, right? We don't make it karmane. I saw most of you making that, connection there. So karmane, if you want to say karmane, you are more than welcome to say karmane. But then you cannot say evadhikaraste because you already ate the E and took it there, right? You can't reuse it again. It's gone, right? And that's not the way to pronounce it because there's a gap here, right? They're two separate words. So karmane evadhikaraste, right? Evadhikaraste, like that. So karmanya evadhikaraste. If you're saying, I have heard karmane evadhikaraste. Now that's double use of the word, of the letter E here, right? How did it feel to do this exercise?
Shraddha Mataji, before you go on, can I just ask, with that N in front of the Y with the dot underneath, does it add, what's the meaning, or how does that add to the pronunciation?
How does the dot add to it, right?
With the N on top, yeah.
So, and the dot, I'm just trying to see what is the English equivalent for the ana. It's not there in English, obviously, right?
Oh, so that's what you're describing, is because if that dot isn't there, then you don't do that.
Yes, you don't do that. For example, you can say Veena, like some people's name is Veena, right? Veena, no dot underneath the N, right? Now I'll say the name in a different way. Veena. Do you notice the difference? Ana. Veena. Krishna. Krishna has got the dot underneath the N. So Krishna. Ana, Veena. Like that. Brahmana. So in English, because that N is not there, so people say Brahmana, right? Brahmana and Brahmana is two different things, right? So a dot underneath the N will do that. Okay. So let's go, and I see Madhav Sangini joins. So let's give her a chance also. So Madhav Sangini, Mataji, we are reciting from 45 individually, from 45 to 49. So why don't you get started here? And you are on mute, Mataji. Okay, so I think she's having some trouble unmuting herself. So yeah, so I wanted to ask you that how was the exercise? How do you feel after going through this?
It's been good, Mataji. Today morning also itself, before the class, I was reading.
You are reading it, and it's very important to do that, right? Very important, and keep on, I'm looking for more reflections, right? Good is fine because you'll be good. it's Lucas, but yeah.
For me, I think the ones that where I attended your class and then learned them by the week, the first 3 were much easier than the last 2, which I missed them. And also when I was reciting them, the meaning was coming into mind, you know? So yeah, which meant it was much more fulfilling than just reading it. So thank you for that.
Yeah, for like, parrot, right? Yeah, we can't just memorize by rote like that. Yeah. So it's so important for the meanings. I was actually very surprised. I knew that you had missed some classes, and I was surprised and pleasantly surprised by you maintained the flow. So which means that you have got into that nuance of reading, because you come from a very different background, right? Not knowing Hindi at all. So for you, it's a big leap. And so that was good. Again, I emphasize that go back again, maybe listen to the recording of individual verses and see how you are differing, because it'll come, differences will come because each one of us has to start there.
So Mataji, I'm doing Chad, so I tend to had an opportunity to read in that time. And I'm doing some Bhakti Shastris to try and memorize those, so it gets a bit of overload, So
yeah.
And Mataji, now at least we know some verses we can memorize. That is the other thing. It's a joy.
It's a joy, to be able to memorize that, And then if you have memorized a verse and then already memorized it, and it'll go away from your memory, and that's fine. It goes, and then by touching it again with your eyes, it comes back. And then next time that it comes back, it's not that difficult. And every time you go and touch it, it'll become less and less difficult and will stay in your memory. And you will also know that because you memorize the words, and it's all about, knowing is or memory. It's all about memory that you will remember that in this particular verse, these were the nuances that were there, and when you practice that, then those nuances will be etched more, deeply in your psyche. So I heard a beep, and I'm just wondering whether Madhav Sangini Mataji is able to unmute herself.
She can't, Mataji. She has.
Think that? Okay. All right. So then, Sadhana, sorry, Surabhi Govinda Mataji, you were going to say something and I cut you off. Was it or no?
No. No, it's good. I think Varshana Mataji has a comment on what.
Oh, okay, I see the chat here. All right. So, Madhav Sangini is saying getting family. Okay, familiar with the verses. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
this week, Mataji, I was really contemplating on the last verse we did. Durina aharam
Avaram.
karma. Yeah. And it was really making sense.
Yeah. So then you see that it becomes a nice connection with the shlokas. It's almost like you it's a ballroom dance. You're dancing with the shlokas together, right? And that rhythm is there and the music is there, and that's when the relishment comes, And yeah, let's go to 50 and we'll come back and continue on that thought. So we'll go to our sheet here, 2.50. So let's look at 2.60. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. One more time. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. So, a lot of things to keep in mind here, right? So, easy, buddhi. Buddhi. So, it becomes buddhi, that we know. Yukto. Jahātīha. The ha and ha. See? In the same word, the difference is there, right? So, depending on how you pronounce it, more emphasis on this one, less on this. There's no right and wrong. Ubhe sukri. So the dot underneath the R makes it from a ra, makes it into a ri, like in rishi, right? Rishab, like Rishikesh, like that. So sukrita, and this is su, simple S with no dot underneath it, simple S as in the word sun. But in the next one, you get dush because there's a dot underneath the S. So, right, like that, right? And Krish, right, same thing. As in Krishna, right? So Krish. Krite. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva. Yujyasva, right? Pronounce it carefully. Yujyasva yogaḥ, because there's a dot underneath the H. Yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. A little bit more. I did not pay that much emphasis when I was reciting, but a little bit emphasis there. It's not kauśalam. Yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Kau, right? So yogaḥ karmasu. So same thing. Sukṛta karmasu. And then duṣkṛte kauśalam, right? There's sha here, different sha, but I don't know how to differentiate between the pronunciation of the two. I kind of do them the same way, but they say they're different. And I think it's got to do with my ears, because I remember asking Hanbhakta Swami Maharaj, can you please recite these two and tell me how these are done? And he did that, but I could not see hear the difference. So that's my shortcoming there. The buddhi-yukta, one who is engaged in devotional service, buddhi, because buddhi yoga is devotional service, right? Using the right use of putting your intelligence to the right use. Jahāti, can get rid of. Jahāti, right? Iha. So jahāti with a small I means ending in a small I or less emphasis means can get rid of, jahāti, right? And iha means in this life or in this world here where you are. So then there's one I here and one I from here becomes a double emphasis here. So as you can see, this will combine and this becomes a more emphasis. So jahāti and iha. So jahātīha. Ubhe means both. Sukṛta-duṣkṛte, good and bad results. Tasmād, therefore. Yogāya, for the sake of devotional service. Yujyasva, be so engaged. Yuj means to connect or engage. Yoga comes from the word yuj. Yogaḥ, Krishna consciousness. And because the best yoga, there can different kinds of yoga. You can take a ox and you can a bull and you can connect the bull to the cart, right? Bullock cart. So that's also yoga. But the best yoga is when you connect with Krishna, which is Krishna consciousness. Karmasu, in all activities. Kauśalam is act. So you remember Ram Navami just went back. Kaushalya, Ram's mom. Translation: a man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. Means art of all work is everything that you do should be in Krishna consciousness. Like that, right? So, what is the Sanskrit for can get rid of?
Jahātīha.
Jahātīha, correct. And what is the Sanskrit for art?
Kauśalam.
Kau. Say kau.
Kau.
Kau. O-au. Kauśalam.
Kausalam.
Kauśalam. Okay. Yeah. And then what is the Sanskrit for good and bad reactions?
Ubhe sukṛta.
Sukṛta-duṣkṛte.
Sukṛta-duṣkṛte, right? Good and bad results. Ubhe means?
Both.
Both, right? Ubhe means both. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha. Ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha. Ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Right? Remember to put the emphasis there. One more time. Hear it hard. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha. Ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Okay? Who wants to go first? Whose turn is it?
It's Mataji, my turn.
All right, go.
Buddhi-yukto jahātīha. Ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Kauśalam. Okay, good. Suji?
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Right. So let's go back to each of the words again. Buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe. Right? Ubhe. Ubhe. Both. Right? Sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Sukṛta and duṣkṛte. Right? Sukṛ-duṣkṛ. Tanta and te. Right? Ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Okay? Now do it one more time. So, Mataji.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yoga karmasu kauśalam.
This time it was so much better, right? I'm just thinking whether it becomes easy for you to pronounce it this way. Yujyasva. Try that, everybody. Yujyasva.
Yujyasva.
Swa.
Or is it a better other way around? I find it much better this way. Yujyasva.
This Mataji.
That way? Okay. All right, then who's next? Sadhana Mataji. Oh, Surabhi Mataji can go to it, right?
Swa.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Karmasu kauśalam. Very nice, right?
Kauśalam. Is it cow or
Kau.
cow? Sorry.
Kauśalam. Kauśalam.
Thank you.
All right, so Mother Sangini cannot speak and nor can Varshana Mataji today. So let's go back again and now give us the full blown.
Mataji, could scroll up a little bit.
Little bit?
A little, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Buddhi-yukto
Yukto.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam yogāya. No. What's wrong, Mataji? Tasmād yoga.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
ya.
yogāya.
Okay.
Yogāya.
Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Karmasu kauśalam.
Kauśalam.
Okay. Suruchi.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte.
Ubhe. You see here on the top, you see this word?
Ubhe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ubhe, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Could I start over, Mataji?
Yeah, please.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Kauśalam. Tasmād yogāya. Just go heavy. Go yogāya. Yogāya. Yujyasva. Tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Okay, Surabhi Mataji.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Kauśalam. Okay. Now, everybody mute yourself. I'm going to keep on reciting this verse, right, for a few minutes here. And then you listen to me. And then you sing along, right? You speak along. Just with 1 microsecond difference, right? So you will hear that and then just do that. Okay. What's buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmāt yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmāt yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam. Okay, so Tapa Mataji, unmute yourself for the last run. Give us the verse.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Nice. Suji?
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Very nice. Okay. Surabhi Govindam.
buddhi-yukto jahātīha ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte tasmād yogāya yujyasva yogaḥ karmasu kauśalam.
Karmasu kauśalam. Ubhe sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Sukṛta-duṣkṛte. Okay, good. So should we call it a day? We are 5 minutes over our time.
Thank you.
Yes, Mataji.
All right.
Thank
So
you.
tell me what's the meaning of jahātīha? Jahāti.
Rid of.
Get rid of. Jahāti. Okay. So let's aim at getting rid of our anarthas by chanting the Bhagavad-gītā regularly. Have a fantastic rest of the Sunday. Try to touch the verse with your eyes and try to touch all the verses with your eyes, all that from starting from 45. And that'll be fantastic. Okay? Vanchikalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Go Premanande. Hari Hari.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hari Bol.